AITA, 34M, for stooping to a new low by kicking our neighbor's garbage bins out of the way whenever she, 37F, leaves it in front of our driveway. Context: new neighbor moved in. She was nice enough at first, but she has a serious problem with how she handles garbage days. I'm not sure how TF1 woman can create so much garbage. She will have her bins out, but it's always overfilling. Many times I've come out of my driveway to go to work to see a pile of spilled over fresh garbage sitting right in front of my driveway after the raccoons got to it, or all her bins blocking my car from leaving. I've spoken to her many times about this and she always says that she doesn't, claims it must be getting moved around by the wind or knocked over by raccoons. Lol. There is no way in hell all that garbage is getting blown around by the wind, the raccoon part I believe. But there are locks on the garbage bins for a reason, and if you can't close it because Terry's too much trash, that's a you problem. Lately, even when I know she's home, she will ignore me at her door. I always back out of my driveway and I will see bins blocking my path. I tolerate moving them out of the way even though it pisses me the frick off every morning. What I can't tolerate is when raccoons get into her poop, and as I'm backing out I see piles and piles of fricking garbage blocking my path. I've had to use a shovel to get it out of the way. I've been waking up a bit earlier to move her garbage, and the other day I asked myself why the frick I am going out of my way to help this stupid idiot. I took a good look at her bins and just kicked them as hard as I could over to her side, and the garbage spilled over to her driveway instead of mine. I've noticed now she is slowly learning to take proper care of her garbage, and sometimes she even puts it on the other side of her driveway. She has been a lot better lately, but not perfect. She sometimes now locks the bin's hinges and keeps it on the other side of the street, but whenever I catch it in front of my driveway I will kick it back to her side. Told my wife about it and she sighed, this is so pathetically low of me. She doesn't have to wake up and deal with someone else's poop, so I don't really expect her to understand, or maybe I am just a positive. I feel like I've done my part being nice. IDGAF anymore. AITA. Edit. Hey guys, I see a lot of hate coming towards my wife, and while I appreciate everyone's advice on what to do about her, this is just the way we both speak to each other, and have been speaking to each other since we met. Maybe it's unhealthy, but I think we both also understand there is a level of sarcasm when we speak this way. It's when she doesn't speak like this with me and uses my full name that has me concerned. Edit. 2 Wife read my first edit and is quite happy with my response. Thank you guys for indirectly giving me free brownie points. Previous place I lived, the trash collectors had a right to not even pick up the containers where the lid couldn't close. It was a requirement due to the mechanical nature of the arm/clamp picking up the bins to upend into the truck. That was residential. At my office, we got fines if the bin's lid wasn't able to close. NTA. That's super annoying and frustrating and should not be your problem, and she clearly wasn't getting the hint. My new neighborhood has a kid about 10 years old who likes to roll the emptied bins back up to our garages from the curb. It's sweet and he's tidying up and clearly has fun. He goes around the entire section of the neighborhood to do this every week after the collection truck goes through. However, I do have to watch out when opening my garage and planning to leave. My empty bin might be behind my car once the door is open. Or it might be in the way when I come home, so I need to move it before I pull into the garage. But in this case it's a slight inconvenience. No trash spilled, and I'd rather encourage a kid who wants to be helpful. NTA. It is all of our responsibility to _secure our own garbage while it awaits pickup. If you can't close it because Terry's too trash much, that's a you problem. And hers to solve. Yes. NTA. And while not the same situation, I had an alcoholic living below me in my flat, or apartment for US people. He'd fill up my non-recycling bin with cans and other stuff that meant the recycling/bin men would get annoyed and not take my bins to empty. I finally got annoyed and put locks on my bins. Sometimes you have to just lose your temper a bit and show people you're serious for them to take the situation seriously. He never did it again. Your neighbor is slowly learning, and no, you're not being pathetically low, your neighbor was being disrespectful. It doesn't make more effort to keep it to her driveway and lock the bins, as she has shown now. If she doesn't have to deal with it, make her if she still wants an opinion. Hey wifey, get up, it's trash day. Go clear up the driveway. It's so tiring to always clean the same poop from the same people. Trust me, I know. I have kids XD. To be fully petty in my response, your wife is the pathetic one. Make her get up to deal with it and see what different approaches she'll take. And call her bluff too. Tell her fine from now on she's on trash duty since she knows she can handle it all so much better lol. Again NTA, you've done everything you could to communicate and accommodate. Your neighbor showed bad faith and indifference to the inconvenience she caused you and even went as far as to ghost you. You were fully in your right to have kicked her bins over to teach her a lesson only experience will allow to sink in. Good on you. Were you picking up the garbage before? She must have a lot of garbage if you have to wake up early to move it. I would have just shoveled it to her side. If it kept up, I would have used more forceful swings to spread the garbage around her property. Maybe open a few bags while I'm at it. I wouldn't continue kicking the bins though. If she films it, it can be taken out of context and used against you. Put them in her driveway so she can't get out. NTA. The second time, I would have moved her bins to the middle of her driveway and shovel the trash back onto her lawn and she can clean it up. I live on a corner lot and people love to toss their trash out as they enter/exit the community and it's irritating to have to clean up a lazy person's garbage. NTA, some people only learn the hard way. It's not your fault. NTA. I think anyone who had to deal with that repeatedly after being polite and trying to discuss it, but getting ignored, would have done something similar. Some people need a gentle touch to come out of their self-centeredness, others are somewhat more obtuse. NTA. Carry on as you were. If your wife doesn't like how you handle it, then she is welcome to get up earlier than you and move the trash and bins for you. What with her being so high and mighty and all, I'm sure she'd love to help you out. NTA. We had a neighbor who blocked our driveway with his trash once. I dragged it back to the middle of his driveway and knocked that poop over. He didn't have most of it bagged, so that was an extra plus. Never happened again. Edit to add judgment. NTA. Your neighbor is pathetically low, and you are not. NTA. Obviously she knows where to leave it and how to secure it. You try talking to her about changing the situation. How is this an everyday issue? Shouldn't it only be once a week? NTA. I would share this post with your wife. If you enjoyed this video, check out this playlist for more of the best Reddit stories, or watch this next video for your daily dose of karma. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep the karma flowing.